And then we have some Ray-9 keys, our two females. Right here is one of our mangrove tail rays. We have them down there. His name is Mickey, and then the female's name is Minnie. We have a cow nose stingray right here in the corner. They have a little indentation in their face, looks like a cow's nose. They're the smallest stingrays that we have. And then we also have another type of stingray, a southern stingray. There's three of those, Bonnie, Blue, and Wings, and they are going to be our largest stingrays in the aquarium. Back there we do have our two green sea turtles. They are rescues. So JC and Eddie right there, as you can see, they have their bodies sloped to the top. This is due to a condition called global blood. That is the actual scientific name for global blood. What that means is they have air bubbles trapped under their shell. It comes from a boat strike or something that strikes them when that injury goes over, air bubbles and stuff. So you can't get released back into the wild, but we make sure they get everything they need, diet-wise, they are happy, healthy. That's JC right there. It's a little bit bigger and then Penny, I guess, when normally in the corner, there's a little bubble machine back there, and you'll see it's pretty scratched. So
side.
Again, the black
Oh, here they go.
shark is back.
I like this one.
Here, Sharky, Sharky, Sharky.
So yeah, that's how we feed our animals. We do also have an eel in here, a giant eel, moray eel, green moray eel named Mr. Tinkles. He's pretty massive, and a lot of people don't know if he's real just because he stands or stays pretty still, but he does open and close his mouth all the time. That's how they actually breathe. So the water goes through their gill system in their mouth. They also have 2 pairs of jaws. One of their jaws actually comes out of the other to grab the food and retract it back. It's pretty scary, but
Yeah.
it's really cool. So yeah, this is our ocean habitat. If you guys have any questions about anything here?
That's really cool. I like this one. Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey just hangs out here a lot. Some of the larger animals just chill, get away from everybody. Not feeling safe. Over here we have our coral propagation. So corals are animals, not plants, although they do look like plants. But they are living organisms, and in order for them to grow, they actually sometimes have polyps that come off of them, and then they grow into full colonies. And so these are polyps that have been broken off of different ones. Sometimes we actually get corals sent to us from rescue centers that take them, or someone's taken them from the wild and propagate them here so that they're not just used for the aquarium, because we want to make sure that we're propagating and growing our own corals and taking them from the wild, since coral reefs are completely different. Coral reefs, unfortunately, are slowly kind of disappearing, which is very unfortunate because most of the biodiversity in all the oceans comes from coral reefs.
If you're talking to me, no, I'm not from Brazil. I'm from Texas, United States. No. Yep. Oh, check out the jellyfish.
Jellyfish breeding. So these are new jellies. So believe it or not, if you look right here, all these little white dots on that black rim is a baby jelly. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So they reproduce really quickly, so sometimes there's a little too much. But yeah, so they start as an egg, and then they do the larva, and this right here, the polyps, just like corals, go through a polyp stage. They're related to corals. And then as they go
Moon jellies. I think these are moon jellies.
baby jellies. Euphoria, as they're called.
Oh,
They're
wow.
like upside down umbrellas.
Yeah.
So sometimes they're learning to post right now, but sometimes they just end up looking like a floating ball.
The size that they typically are.
Yeah, usually they're about this
Full size.
big. Actually, this is more like the teenager stage.
Oh, okay.
Look in there, those are more of adults. Some of them only get a
Adult
certain
jellies.
size.
Yeah.
It just depends, but what's really unique about
Teenage
jellies
jellies.
is that they rely on the current. So this is
Baby
really
jellies.
effective.
And I'll show you the other jellies over here.
A lot of
So, oh yeah, so on there,
Yes.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
it's
Now, moon
baby
jellies are not gonna sting people.
jellies.
They don't have the ability to, but there are a lot of jellyfish that do. It just depends on the size of their skin themselves. Our skin is a little thin. Although when they're really, really big, they just feel kind of sticky on the tentacle, but the top of them, I mean, it feels like nothing. It's pretty crazy. So the babies that are in here, what's unique about them is the fact that it only takes a couple months for it to get to that stage. So it's pretty quick for them to be able to go stage to stage.
Are these moon jellies?
Yes, these
Okay.
are the jellies, yeah. They're super cool since they are clear. They do like absorb the light, so in the light changes you might see downstairs, it looks like they change color. It's just them absorbing the light. And they eat really, really tiny eggs usually. times, or brine shrimp, baby brine shrimp that we'll put in here, and they'll collect in their tentacles and bring it up to eat. Yeah, they're super cool.
Yeah, they are.
Now over here is my favorite part. Let's see if they're out.
Jellies. Oh, wow.
But our
Oh, I
baby
see starfish.
rays, you can kind of see them if you see the tail back there.
Oh,
so the
yeah,
stingrays that we have here, we have woolly rays, we have the cow-nose stingrays, blue spotted ribbon-tail rays. Oh, they're coming out a little bit.
Yeah.
They're a little curious. Maybe they think I'm going to feed them. Not right now. But what's really unique about us is we don't let people pet any of our stingrays.
Yeah.
A lot of aquariums do. If they are AZA accredited, that means they take care of the stingrays and they actually trim their barbs. And they train them at this age or even younger to come up, get food. They'll trim the barb, which is that stinging part on them, and it's just like a fingernail. It doesn't hurt them at all. But we don't, AZA accredited aquariums don't have any debarbing or anything like that. So all of our stingrays all have the ball. We don't trim any of them. But if these animals go into an aquarium where they don't have the touch tools, we will teach them how to trim so that every time they come up to get that barb trim, it's not going to cause them any distress. There are aquariums, however, unfortunately, that sometimes they don't do it correctly and they debarb them or cause them a lot of stress. We don't teach them from a young age to get their barbs trimmed. You can actually do it. So make sure that everything is sustainable manner that's not going to hurt them at all. So we teach them with the public first, statements first, and over time, they just get to know us and they will hand feed them in our hand. So they're coming to the same here, they're going to the and they are born in eggs, it's 9 hatching eggs. So this is an epaulet shark egg. So we did have downstairs in our stingray area, you might have seen our spotted sharks. These are epaulet sharks. So this is an epaulet shark egg, also known as a mermaid's purse. And the baby sharks will hatch from this. This is a zebra shark egg, and it's very similar to what you'd see. So it's pretty cool. A lot of it, don't realize that sharks do live. Some of them use some like a lighter animals. Just depends on the species. It's usually the smaller species that's going to live. Questions on the babies?
That's pretty cool.
Over here.
Shark eggs. Oh, yeah. Jelly or starfish.
This is our filter system. So we have around 225,000 gallons of salt water and over 10,000 gallons of fresh water here. So we have to make sure everything is filtering at all times. We do have it on backup generators just in case, like, if there's a winter problem or there's winter weather, we're not going to be shut down and the filters won't turn off. So we do have a lot of filters. There's a protein skimmer, which is right here. This is going to collect the larger particles, like fish poop.
Yep.
And then over time, it'll break it down. It'll go through, and it is just 24/7 constantly circling back. Since we do have some animals that are from very cold climates and some from very warm climates, every single habitat has to be very specific. So we have to make sure that it is constantly working to make sure there are no chemicals that don't need to be in there and everything is running smoothly. Questions about filters? Over here, we have our quarantine. The lights are off right now because it is their nighttime technically. But in here, there's a lot of freshwater fish that we just got in. Before we can put them into our aquarium habitats, we want to make sure that they don't have any parasites, bacteria that can harm them, which are already in there. That's why we keep them in quarantine for pretty much a full cycle of the parasite's life that can be undetectable to the human body, which can be around 90 days. So it might seem like a lot, but we make sure that they are completely healthy before we put them in our habitats. We're pretty small right now, so there's not a whole lot of cool animals, not listed to it, lots of. Yeah, we do have this card here, shows what we have. So we have an Oscar, which is about that big. Some
Quarantine.
fish. We have a lot of different freshwater animals. If you do have an animal that gets sick, there are a couple ways that you can treat it. We do have a veterinarian on staff that we can call in. But most of the time, the aquarium
Here's the laboratory.
Lab over here is where we do water quality tests. We do water quality tests every single day.
They have memes too. Check it out.
We make sure that everything is salinity and pH is all supposed to be. Over here is some artifacts. These are some molts from some of the animals. Do you guys want to take a guess to what this is? Looks like a giant toenail. It's actually made of the same thing as our fingernails and toenails. This is called a scoot, and it is the back plates of a sea turtle. So they actually shed these. A lot of people don't realize that, but they do shed their individual plates. They're pretty cool. And this right here is a sea turtle weight. So how I talked about that bubble butt condition earlier, we can sometimes put a heavy weight on them to kind of help with buoyancy, but some of them don't like it.
Yeah.
And it isn't permanent because they shed these scoots off. They will shed it off eventually. So it isn't a permanent fix, but it can be done to help them temporarily. But JJ and Eddie did not like this, so they do not like the turtle weight. They just want to hang out at the surface, which is fine. So yeah, over here we do have our food prep and feeding area. So every day we make sure they get exactly what they need. We actually measure everything out to make sure, to the gram, to make sure they're not getting overfed or underfed. These are just some of the fish that we use: mackerel, salmon, smelt, squid. The lettuce and broccoli are for sea turtles. Clams and mussels, a lot of times we go to our sea stars. So we have a lot of food in a giant fridge and freezer. And then the stuff that's bubbling back there, which is kind of crazy looking, is actually brine shrimp. We propagate our own brine shrimp here. So the seahorses actually have to eat around 10 times a day. Their food goes through them very quickly, so we feed them constantly live brine shrimp, and they kind of suck up their food like a straw, which is pretty cool to watch. If you guys look at Wednesday, it says 1 chicken leg. What do you think it's a chicken leg?
No idea.
No idea. It's usually not something you see at an aquarium, but did you guys see our caimans, the ones that look like alligators?
Oh,
and
that's
crocodiles?
right. Yeah.
They eat chicken legs, but also our piranhas.
Oh,
Piranhas
that
will
makes
get
sense.
A chicken leg. They don't do that feeding frenzy that you see in movies unless they've been starved for like months on end. But it is kind of fun to watch them in the morning when we put in that chicken leg on Wednesdays. They do go a little crazy, but I mean, honestly, I might feel safe putting my hand in that tank and not be too worried because they get fed. But yeah, if you've ever heard of like piranhas eating a cow whole, they actually starved those piranhas for 6 months beforehand. So of course they were going to have a feeding frenzy. They were starving. But yeah, piranhas do have very sharp teeth though, so they can pretty much clean that chicken leg in an hour or so. Over here we do have all of our pools. Everything's labeled. The grouper gets JC and Eddie have their green buckets, and they know their green buckets. And if we're late and we set down that green bucket, they will splash like crazy. So, they all have all the habitats have numbers. This one's for the guitar bros. I guess those are the guitar brothers that we have in there. So yeah, they each have their bowls. These guys are enrichment feeding, so we'll put food in here and they can kind of get it out so that we make sure that they're not bored. Right, exactly. And then we can put food actually inside of this so that it can slowly release over time as well if we are super busy. So yeah, we have a lot of different supplies, and we actually make all of our salt water here, so we have a lot of different salts as well. And then laundry is back there. The towels. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys have any questions or anything?
One thing I didn't see out there was octopus. Do you have those?
We don't have an octopus,
Okay.
unfortunately. If they are females, which there's really no way to tell male or female until they're adults. If they are females, they only last like a year and a half.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to make sure that we're not going to just put an animal in a tank that's just going to die.
Right.
But there are a lot of aquariums that do have those bigger Pacific octopuses.
Yeah.
And you can tell if it's male or female, and they're able to really take care of them for a long time. So, but no, we don't have octopuses. I wish. They're cool looking. For
Yeah,
sure.
they are.
We did have one that lasted a long time ago. It's kind of one of those things that if you don't get it as an adult, you never know how to.
Quarantine.
Glad you guys came back here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Very entertaining. Oh wow.
It's one of our little
Oh,
ladies
yeah.
here.
That's really cool.
Cute.
She's really cute. Yeah, they started out like this big. They look like little like pasta, raviolis.
Oh.
They're adorable.
Okay, that's enough.
Baby sharks as well. A while ago. They already moved downstairs to the cages now. But they were babies. They were.
The dive locker for the divers. My dad used to do this at Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Really enjoy this. Again, my name is Lee. Just leave a comment on there.
Oh, sure.
Who didn't like this? My name is Lisa.
Oh, look. Did you see that? Oh, wow. Hopefully you guys saw that. That was pretty neat. Is it coming over here? Oh, it went by. Just swam by. That's really cool. And then there's this guy just hanging out. That's a cowface stingray. So cool. Oh yeah. All right. Thank you.
Of course, have a good one.
You too. Thanks. Oh, thank you. All right, that was behind the scenes. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my feed here. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Yeah, you know I love doing surveys. I do love I love a good survey.
Love survey.
All right, everyone. Thanks for hanging out and watching. We will see you guys later. Oh yeah, exit. See you guys.